Was my freshman year of college good? Well, the answer to that is pretty complicated. It's a long story, so buckle in and let me explain. Let's start from the beginning. I go to the University of Dayton. I'm going to be a sophomore this year, and freshman year went pretty well. First semester started off great. I lived in a dorm on a floor with 30 other guys. We were all always hanging out and having a good time together all the way up until first semester ended. I think a lot of you guys know like the things that we were doing first semester, because I have plenty of videos on my channel that show like a lot of the partying and stuff that went on. And even like the first video I ever made in college just included all these guys from the floor. Second semester started, and it was basically the same as first semester, but things were about to kick off in ways that I had no idea were coming. As I've said, I became friends with basically everybody on my floor, but I wasn't actually really specifically friends with like anybody. Like, I would like to hang out with everybody in a group. I normally wouldn't hang out with people like individually, you know? And this wasn't really a problem because a lot of times when we would go out or when we would all like go play football or something, like it didn't really matter that I wasn't like super close with everybody. As long as everybody was in a group, then it was still a good time for me. I want to put a disclaimer right here and make sure that everybody on the floor knows that if I do not mention your name in the upcoming parts of the video, then you were not part of the problem and you probably made my freshman year a really good time. But now that that's out of the way, let's get into the incident that really puts my freshman year into perspective. First of all, I want to shout out Nick Gratz for being a fucking dickhead. I know he watches my videos too, so shout out to the worst human being to walk this fucking planet. Let's paint the picture here, alright? It was the night of Monday, March 7th, 2022. I had class on Tuesday morning at 9:30 a.m. All I was trying to do was go to bed early because I had early morning class the next day. But there was a certain group of people that had different plans that night. This group of people decided it would be a great idea to go out drinking on a Monday night. I mean, how can you blame them? Everybody in that group is literally an alcoholic. They decide that when they come back from drinking that they're gonna go into the room directly next to mine. This is Tim and Jackson's room, who I fucking hate, by the way. When they came back, it was Monday night, it was like late, and they were obviously being loud. Like they were playing music, they were, you know, playing games, talking, whatever. I, being the one trying to sleep that night, very reasonably sent a text to Archie asking if they could quiet down. Now, when you think about it, it is very reasonable to ask somebody on a Monday night when you have class the next morning to quiet down. But these drunk motherfuckers had different ideas in mind. Instead of quieting down, they actually got louder and began to harass me over text. They were also verbally talking shit about me, not realizing that I could hear everything that they're saying in the next room.
I hear everything y'all are saying. No, when he said that, I was like, you know, you wake them up with
Now, the reason why this was so strange to me was because I considered Archie to be my friend. Him and I had hung out many times in the past, and all of a sudden he was just being a dick to me. Also, I had never in my life been mean to Nick Gratz, and then all of a sudden he just was so offended by what I said. And all I said was that I wanted them to quiet down, and for some reason they just took it to the most extreme levels possible. So eventually I was able to fall asleep that night, and the next couple of days were just strange because Nick, Archie, and his girlfriend Elizabeth, they would like follow me around everywhere and just completely talk shit to me like all the time. And this went on for a few days until eventually I wanted to be the bigger person and I apologized to them. I went up to Nick, I went up to Archie, and I went up to his girlfriend, and I apologized. Even though they were the ones who were being unreasonable, I was like, I don't want this to go on forever. Like, let's not hold a grudge. Let's just end this now. And this sort of brought things back to normal until St. Patrick's Day. I seriously don't know what this guy's problem was, but after we were done partying on St. Patrick's Day, Nick Gratz was still talking shit about me.
Oh my god. He's so mad. He's so mad. Oh my god.
I just absolutely lit into the guy, man. I didn't hold back, dude. I was ready to fight him. Like, I was sick of his fucking bullshit. And what really crossed the line for me was when I was trying to take a nap. I don't even remember what the hell was going on, but this dude opened my door and was, like, threatening to come into my room. And I was like, there's no fucking way that you're literally about to do this. He was all talk, though. They're like, there was no way this guy was actually about to do anything about this. And this was over, like, nothing. Like, nothing actually happened. All I did was ask him to quiet down, like, a couple weeks before this happened, and he was still pressed about it. But after that, the writing was already on the wall, and it was too late to repair the relationships that I had between those people. One thing I can say is that Archie did apologize to me, which was actually really great to hear. From that day forth, I obviously couldn't trust the guy, but like, at least he was big enough to apologize for what he did. The same cannot be said for everybody else in that group with all of the passive-aggressive, petty bullshit that they were pulling. Now, let me tell you what the main problem was. I've already said that I kind of kept to myself throughout the year, and I wasn't really that close with everybody else on the floor. Once this happened, I had no idea who was actually with me or against me. And I assume like 90% of the people on the floor like didn't give a shit and just like treated me like normal, but just the fact that this happened just ruined it for the rest of the year. Like, it was so fucking awkward, the fact that I lived on the same floor as this guy. And what made it worse was that he was roommates with one of my favorite guys, Justin. Justin is like one of the funniest guys you will ever meet, and I considered him to be like one of my closest friends who lived on the floor. But after all this shit went down, like, I had no way of knowing if Justin was cool with me or not. He was the one who hosted all of the pre-games in his room, which happened to also be Nick's room. So while everybody else was partying in Justin's room, I was just chilling in mine, and it just pissed me off that one group of people can cause all of this to happen with little to no repercussions. Like, don't think I forgot about you, Brooke Nussbaum, writing those fucking comments on my YouTube videos. Like, I know what you fucking said. Tim Longoria, Jackson Wolf, y'all are some fucking idiots. I remember thinking Jeff Gianelli was a good friend until I heard him talking shit through the wall again. And there was also this chick named Alexis who was so fucking strange. I have no idea. Like, these people were just so mad and they hated me so much. Grace Hughes. So fuck everybody who was involved in this, but thank you to everybody who was actually like nice to me during this time. It was just really tough not knowing like who was with me and who was against me, and it just ruined the relationship I had with almost everybody on the floor. And so going back to the question, was my freshman year good? During the first semester, it was amazing, but then the second semester was ruined by this small group of people. While it was going on, I didn't think it had that big of an effect on me. Like, I was just trying to ignore it. I was just like, you know, I'm just gonna let this blow over. I don't care. Like, these people don't really mean that much to me. But there was no way that I could ignore this. Like, it completely changed the way I looked at everybody, the way I acted in front of everybody. I mean, I just had no idea, like, what people were gonna say to me, and it was just a very weird and vulnerable time. And I wasn't really upset by all this until during the summer when my mom asked me if I had made any friends during freshman year. And I thought about this really hard, and while I did make a few really good friends, the 30 friends that I thought I had on the floor really weren't my friends. I just was, like, chill with all of them, you know? When my mom mentioned that, it really all just hit me. Like, the fact that these few people can have this big of an effect on me, and all I could do was wait it out. and freshman year ended, and I hope I never have to see those people again. And so when people ask me, they're like, how was your freshman year? I always tell them that it was a great time because first semester and most of second semester, I was having a blast. But it's really hard not to think about the situation I had to go through and the people that I had to deal with. So long story short, my freshman year was great, and I am very glad that I chose the University of Dayton, but there were a certain number of people that I hope I never have to see again, and I hope karma catches up with them. All I can say is, haters will hate, people will be jealous of you, and that's normal. All you can do is keep your head down, focus on yourself, and don't give in to the bad people. Be good to others, and hopefully they will be good to you as well. Thank you for watching. This has been Death Warrior. I'm out. Cheers to sophomore year.